We are back on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our continuing coverage of the eRacing GP Philippines edition, round 2 of 4 coming your way. Des Corkill and Alex Young, as usual, in the commentary box for you. Alex, exciting that we've got the Philippines up and running. Really good races in round 1 in both the amateur and the professional class last week. What are you expecting for this week?
More of the same, I hope. Really, that first round at Sepang, it was so exciting from start to finish in both classes. It really was interesting. Hopefully we'll have more of the same. We are at a different track, though. We're at RaceRoom Raceway. It's one track I don't know anything about. I haven't even gone around on the sim yet, but it looks very interesting. It's one of these virtual tracks that RaceRoom created. Lovely backdrop, lots of nice scenery around it, yeah, it should be good fun to watch.
We'll get onto the racetrack in just a moment. Firstly, though, let's look at the championship standings as it is after round 1. We have got some new drivers this week, but for the championship standings, Seiko is the man who really set the world alight last week. 40-point weekend for Voltaire Seiko. LJ Mutoch on 38 points. They are clearly the two drivers who have set the pace, but you don't get rid of the likes of Francis Angelo Gonzalez or a couple of the new boys who you'd like to pick out. Certainly you've mentioned already Sean Velasco and Paolo Santos, who are not on that screen there, but will be driving for the very first time when we get onto the track, Alex.
Yeah, both Santos and Velasco are experienced drivers. Velasco actually drives the Vios. He's a real-life driver. But both of them are first time in sim racing, so they've got a lot to learn. They're still struggling to get the pace out of these cars. Paolo Santos is the GT200 champion from 2019, so we know he's a quick driver. But like I said, they'll take a bit of time to get up to speed with the sim drivers.
There is Paolo Santos on the track as we speak. We saw him just before going off around about this area. Looks a little bit wobbly as he goes under the tunnel there. From real racing into virtual racing, it can be a very steep learning curve, Alex.
Yes, it is. Mostly because you very much, when you drive, you got the G-forces, you got your peripheral vision, and you got two eyeballs. When you go in the sim, it's like driving with one eye because you can only see what it is. So your depth perception is just out the window. So for a lot of the real-life drivers, they take a while to get accustomed to the lack of depth. And they just don't have a good sensation of speed. So knowing when to bleed off the brake, carry the speed in the corner, that makes it very tricky for them.
Okay, you mentioned that there's a brand new track. We'll go on a flying lap in a little while, but let's just have a look at the track map. And it looks to be a very sweeping, lots of very fast corners track for round 2 of the Philippines edition.
Yeah, and we're on with Santos right now, who is starting the lap. He's come across the start-finish straight. Looks a bit tricky to overtake as well. There looks like a couple spots you could overtake. This nice and wide as he comes down to turn 1. Turn 1 is a chicane, left-right chicane. I believe as you go through the left bit, you got to make sure you don't overcook it for the right bit because the exit is very important out of there. It does go over a small brow as well, so you want to make sure you're in the right spot. Nice, another chicane, fast and flowing, a lot faster this one. You can carry a lot more speed. As we're having a little bit of lag through here. Now we come down to this right-handed. Again, looks a bit quick, but it does tighten up just a wee bit. And this left bit, they go through a tunnel here. Reminds us of some of the tracks you have in GT Sports, so they love going through tunnels, a bit Monaco-esque, I guess. Now we come to the back bit here. We'll put the track map up a bit more again so we can watch through here. Quick right-hander. Another chicane, fast chicane here. Left, right, left and a right coming up here. Tightens up a bit, this right-hander, so you have to, I would gather, fight understeer. You don't want to be too greedy there. Otherwise you'll be off track. You can get quite adventurous with off track bits because there is a lot of room off track. Now another right-hander, double right-hander here. You can see the gradient changes. It looks quite nice before braking for this left-hand hairpin. This hairpin looks like a corner you can overtake through. You can just kind of dive down the inside of someone. Before another short straight and then another hairpin. This right-hand hairpin then leads on the start-finish straight. This corner, you can tell, is very important not to overcook it here. You need to get a good exit because it's a long straight down here, start-finish straight. And that's a lap. the RaceRoom Raceway.
Well, we will have a little flying lap from you later. I was interested to watch you were learning the track as he was going around there. Clearly, you were picking out the right lines that he should be taking. At the moment, TJ Alberto, who I know from my motorbike racing days, he's the man who's posted the fastest lap, Alex. 1:34.608 from your reckoning. Is that a fast lap compared to what the pros are doing?
That's really quick for the AMs. TJ might be going a bit too quick here. We might have to bump up the AMs if he keeps going quicker. The fastest lap time we saw on the pros and the leaderboard was a 32.6. So that's exactly two seconds off, which is about right. We expect the AMs to be about 2 seconds off the pros. It's a place for them to learn. You know, we got a lot of drivers in the AM class who are not on the sim every day, but they want to come and enjoy some racing. And also, we've got a lot of newbies who've only just started. I don't know TJ's sim career, but we just mentioned Santos and of course Velasco, who are brand new to sims. So this is a perfect place for them to come learn. And as they improve, then we'll bump them up to the pro class.
We'll just stick with TJ, just see how he's doing this. He does look to have taken it quite nicely. Santos we had a look at. Who else is worth looking at? Panilio was involved at the front end of the race for much of last week. In the end, he didn't pick up that many points. The top point scoring were Volta Seiko and LJ Mutoc in first and second. They took wins in the two races. But Panilio got himself a sixth and a fifth, so clearly a very competitive racer.
Yes, very combative racer. He was in a lot of the action from the last race at Sepang. So yeah, I think we're seeing more of the same. He was definitely getting stuck in. He was just off the front running pace, but firmly at the front of the midfield.
Just seeing if Seiko or Mutoc are out on the circuit. They're not. They're both happily ensconced in the pits there. We're also getting just used to the liveries that we're seeing. Again, let's get back onto the track. I thought it was going to be very sweeping, but it did seem to be an awful lot of work for the drivers to have to work around the course. An awful lot of hairpins in there, which works the upper body.
Yeah, absolutely. This track reminds me a little bit of Paul Ricard, that there's a lot of space. And I would imagine it's very easy to overcook it here. When you have so much space as a driver, you think, oh, I can carry loads of speed, and you get a bit sideways through the corner. But with tracks as wide as this, any bit of sideways movement will cost you a lot of lap time. So I think it's the sort of track where you have to underdrive it a bit, really nice, be nice and smooth. One of these sort of tracks where if you feel you're going fast, you probably end up going slow. So you want to try and be nice and slow, nice and smooth, so it feels slow, and that's when the lap time will come.
Let's have a look at some of the rookies who are going to be involved today. A fairly quick rookie is Zetric Orate. He's just 0.5 of a second outside the fastest time at the moment. For these, he's lost a little bit there, Zorate. It's very difficult for new racers to come in and make an immediate impact once the series has got up and running, Alex.
Yeah, that's right. Normally people, once they get in the series, they start learning small little tricks. They do a lot more time, a lot more practice. So new guys who just started, they come in and they got to immediately get into the flow. So that can be a bit tricky. Having said that, we're only at round 2, so there's still great opportunity. A lot of drivers will be feeling their way into the championship and the series, shall we say, as they figure out how to get the best of the cars and the tracks. So, what do we have? 20 more minutes of practice left. We're going to go into qualifying right after this. Qualifying will be 5 minutes, which should be enough time for everyone to get 2 time laps. Qualifying, we're going to find out in a while. I don't think this track is going to be as good for overtaking as we saw at Sepang. Sepang, we had a lot of long straights and a lot of wide entries into corners, big braking zones. So that was a good track for overtaking. But we will soon find out whether the RaceRoom Raceway GP circuit will be good for overtaking too.
Okay, so what we're going to do for qualifying is you've got 5 minutes to qualify. Normally you try to restrict the guys to just a single opportunity to set a qualification time. Probably got enough time here for 2 laps. Let's go with TJ Alberto, who was fastest in practice. Let's see what kind of a time he can put out for his first out. Well, that's not the best start, is it?
Well, yeah, a little bit emotional. I was just checking my messages here. Alberto, yeah, across the start-finish line. Let's watch him now. A little bit downhill, braking for turn 1. Oh, sorry, uphill and then downhill. Braking for turn 1. Oof, medium speed chicane. Yeah, he's run wide, too wide there. And then he's wide at the first bit of chicane, wide at the second bit of chicane. That will cost him lap time. He'll be bleeding it all the way down the straight. Now we come to the second chicane, quite a bit faster. He's going to continue this lap because he'll get a couple chances to set a lap time. Obviously feels he needs to get into the flow of the track a bit more. Now we come to this right-hander. So yeah, now through the tunnel. This bit's nice. I always love tracks to go through tunnel. Just adds an element. The contrast between daylight and darkness definitely adds to that. We'll go to the full screen, shall we, Des, so we can see a bit more detail.
Let's move on. Do you want to stay with TJ Alberto? Because I've actually got Mutachus on track, and at the moment has set the fastest time in Sector 1 and Sector 2 as he comes into the final couple of corners. This double right-hander, Mutach, picked up a win in race number 2 yesterday and is looking fine Vettel today as well, Alex.
Yeah, or last week, rather. Yes, but he's purple sector 1, purple sector 2. He's just got to keep it nice and clean. One more corner to go. This tight hairpin. Don't overcook it here. This is definitely a corner you don't want to overcook it at. Nah, got to the apex nice and clean. This should be good enough for pole, Des.
3 minutes still to remain, but at the moment it is pole of 1:36.412. We will be getting an awful lot of laps quicker than that. Indeed, I can tell you already that John Lawrence has beaten that, as has Gav Quintos. John Lawrence Bernardo, second. Gav Quintos is the man who's fastest at the moment. He set a time of 1:35.340, but they've only got 2:40 to go, so the guys have got to be getting those lap times down pretty rapidly.
Yeah, so 35.3 is not bad. That's a good banker lap for first lap. Quintos, one of the more experienced drivers in this AM Championship. But he'll know he needs to find another half second here if he wants to challenge a pole. We saw he was quick at Sepang, but didn't have a very good reverse race and didn't finish in the points at all.
He didn't indeed, but he did pick up 8 points in race number 1, so keep an eye out for Gav Quintos. Also maybe keep an eye out and just having a look at Steven Schwab, who was another who scored points in both races without really going into the lead, but he's 7/10 off the lap time at Sector 1 and 1.9 off in Sector 2. So it's still Gav Quintos who holds the fastest lap time as he comes down here, maybe trying to improve that. Through Sector 1, 17.681. That's not the quickest either.
Yeah, we've just seen Erwin Ramos has gone quicker through there, a good 2/10 quicker than through Sector 1. So, but you know, Quintos still got quite a bit of the lap to go. He can still find some more lap time. So far looking nice and neat. This will be his last chance at a lap, so he's got to keep it neat as he comes out of this corner here. Down the start finish straight. Will it be quick enough to improve? He'll want to improve, obviously. It's a funny thing to say. Doesn't really improve though. Invalid lap. So that 35.3 will be the lap. But there are some other drivers out on a quick lap at the moment. See if they can snatch pole position. There we go. Paolo Santos. Good first sector. Not bad second sectors, but bleeding a little bit of time. He's all to make up the third sector. He'll have to attack the third sector. He can't be satisfied with that. This is where qualifying, you know, we saw the drivers in the 34s in practice, but qualifying, that's when the pressure is on. Whether they can do the lap time when the pressure is on in qualifying. We've seen no one do it yet, but Santos, this will be good enough to challenge for pole position as he goes to the penultimate corner. One more corner to go. This should be good enough for the front row. As Ramos goes quicker, Des.
Certainly does. Let's stick with Santos as he's just coming right to the very end. And, well, Ramos quickest, Quintos second. Where is Paolo Santos? He's got himself into a P3. But the man who is quickest is Erwin Ramos, who's posted a time of 1:35.164. It's nearly 0.2 quicker than Gav Quintos, who'll join him on the front row of the grid. A reminder, it's 2 races coming your way, 2 15-minute races. The first of the races goes along these pole positions. Then we have a reverse grid based upon the results that we have. Right, so we're all just about set. 55 seconds or so to go.
So funnily enough, TJ Alberto was quickest in practice. I don't think he set a time in qualifying, so he's starting way down. He'll have a lot to do in this first race.
Alex Young and Des Corkill in the commentary positions for you today. As we just wait for the countdown, there is the track map. As you can see, there's a lot of flowing movement, straights, but then you hit a couple of not quite hairpins, but chicanes which really slow you down, and you've really got to work hard on that. We'll just lose the track map now as we get ready for the start of race number 1 of the Amateur Series, round 2 of eRacing GP. Brought to you by RaceRoom and Axel Sports. And we are... well, we're still in the garage now then. We are under starters orders. Erwin Ramos is the man on pole position. Gav Quintos alongside him, waiting for the red lights to go off, and we are underway for this 15-minute race. It's a decent start by Ramos. Quintos can't get in front of him. There's a little bit of contact, but Gav Quintos in the all-white has indeed managed to get himself at the very front, and that is a lightning fast start from Quintos. And then gets it completely wrong on the second corner, Alex.
Wow, totally overcooked it and took out pole sitter. And that's allowed Seiko through. Championship leader Seiko is through. Quintos again, having contact with Ramos through that second chicane.
So Gav Quintos, a very spectacular start. He is in second place, but it's Voltaire Seiko who is leading the way. He's in the blue livery as they go into the dark of the tunnel for the first time. Really, really quick though from Gav Quintos and Seiko behind them. Erwin Ramos is in P3. Let's have a look a little bit further down. Sean Velasco, one of the debutants. He's finding it a little bit difficult going around Ellison Howe there. That's the battle for P17. Early stages of this race and plenty of incident, but Voltaire Seiko, the man in control.
Yeah, Ramos, okay, got barged out a little bit there by Quintos, but he's still there in P3, just needs to calm down. Oh, look at this fight for the lead though. Quintos having a look at the inside of Seiko. Oh, he hits that curb too hard and gets up on 2 wheels. Wow.
He is really having a go for this one. Is Gav Quintos. Looks on the inside. Can't quite get through into Voltaire Seiko. Behind him, there's all kinds of great battles going on in the midfield. This is Arate in the blue under immense pressure from Adrian Ayala, Daniel Palillo and Raboni John. So 5 racers just competing for very, very little space on this track. It is a fast track, Alex, but there's plenty of incident to report on this first lap.
Yeah, a few bits of contact there. Quintos again all over the side of Seiko. Quintos kind of carrying on from where he did at Sepang, which was, whoa, someone spins to the back. I think that was Ramos. Ramos spun at the second chicane. Oh, disaster, the pole sitter. He was doing such a good job. Obviously, maybe had those contact, maybe he got a bit unsettled because he had a bit of a scrappy first lap. That's dropped him down to the tail of the field now.
Wow, and you've just got to wait. That is purgatory. Look who's just behind him, though. That's LJ Mutoc. Mutoc was expected to do really well today, but this is battles P17 and P18, and a couple of the racers we didn't expect to be down there. Up at the front, Quintos has got himself in front. He's made enough attempts to get past Seiko. At last he's done it, Alex.
Yeah, so obviously made the move. I think it was at the first chicane. We were watching that when Ramos spun. So good move there. Now Quintos needs to calm down a bit because he's been very dramatic. He's been quick, but a bit all over the place. So have to be careful that he doesn't make another mistake because that allows Seiko straight back through.
It is Quintos in the white who leads the way. John Lawrence Bernardo is quite a long way behind in P3 under real pressure from Joriel Cruz. In fact, Cruz tries to go through on the inside. Can't quite get there. Tell you what, so many overtaking maneuvers being attempted. TG Alberto tries to go through. TG Alberto up to P4 after a disappointing qualification.
Yeah, that checkered flag is so distracting in the background. It makes me think the end of the race, but it's not. It's just obviously a virtual fan waving it. But look at that, TJ Alberto, look at the inside to turn 1. We know he's quick. He didn't qualify well, so he's coming back up to the field. Runs a bit wide, just about makes it. Oh, but that allows, who's that, Cruz to come back through on both of them. But no, so Alberto's made the move his own, but Cruz takes Bernardo.
Yeah, Joriel Cruz in the blue took away from John Lawrence Bernardo. That's the battle for P3. A little bit further down, the battle for P8. This is Steven Schwab in the blue. He's right on the tail of Ellison Howe. Lot of maneuvering in the middle as Gav Quintos still leads at the front ahead of Voltaire Seiko. TJ Alberto is 5 seconds adrift of them, but he's got Joriel Cruz right on his tail. Let's keep on this P3 battle just for a moment, see if Joriel Cruz can make any headway here on TJ Alberto.
Yeah, I'd be interesting to see what sort of pace Alberto can squeeze out of that CR1 car now. If he can do the same sort of laps he did in practice, which are consistent 34s, early 35s, I tell you what, that's only 5 seconds behind the lead battle. If he can do that sort of pace, he'll catch up to the lead battle.
Indeed, we are less than 1/3 of the way through this 15-minute race. Gav Quintos is the man who is in the lead. His lead has got up quite considerably, so Voltaire Seiko is immediately under pressure. Not quite sure what happened to Seiko, but the pressure is right on from TJ Alberto. Looks like he made a mistake, and the differential between Quintos and Seiko, nearly 5 seconds, Alex.
Yeah, Seiko spun it at the exit of the penultimate corner. He's lucky, maybe it was just a quick 360 because he was able to recover it. And he's still in second place at the moment, though, as Alberto looks down the inside, not quite able to do it. Now, who's got the better traction out of the first chicane? Okay, Alberto's now looking at the inside again for the second chicane. Second chicane's quite a bit quicker. You can't really go down the inside of someone there unless you're fully alongside. So at the moment, Seiko hangs on to second position.
But Seiko is under pressure, not only from TJ Alberto, but also Juriel Cruz. And John Lawrence Bernardo not too far behind. But it's Gav Quintos. The lead is a massive 6.5 seconds for Gav Quintos ahead of this battle going on for P2, where TJ Alberto is still there. One of the debutants, Patrick Santos, is making a move here as they come round the corner. Contact between Zarate and Santos. And we just caught the tail end of that. Santos drops down to P11. Meantime, Alberto tries to make a move into P3, and TJ Alberto goes through into second place ahead of Seiko. Seiko looks to retake it back immediately, though, does so, and Juriel Cruz tries to come through as well. Cruz is caught. Alberto might be in trouble.
Yes, I think Alberto wasn't aware he was there, or he just went to the right too much, had contact with Cruz. That's going to be a penalty for sure, I think, because Cruz could do nothing about that. But for now, Alberto just got to keep his head down, see if he can get past Seiko.
So, at the moment, Voltaire Seiko still holding on for second place. TJ Alberto, though, will no doubt pick up a penalty. We'll talk about that. Alex Young also in race control duties a bit later on. Quintos is still leading the way. A little bit further down, Paolo Santos back in action. You thought he might be quick. This is him trying to take Zetric Arate as they come into the chicane. Takes the curb. And is he able to take your place, Santos? The answer is yes. Oh, what's happened to Santos?
He's been kicked out of the game. Maybe there were too many incidents. Maybe too much off-track stuff. What happens with the game is that you collect incident points as you go along. And if you collect too many incident points, you'll be ejected from the game. So maybe at some off-track moments, maybe the contact earlier on would have cost him. So unfortunately, that's him done and dusted for now. Mutic as well, he's done and dusted. He's disappeared off the back as well. So, oh no, he's still running, but he's running right at the back. Anyway, Quintos, we're back with the leader. He loves taking that curb at that corner, which causes him to run onto two wheels. But he's got a big gap now, 10 seconds. The cars fighting behind him has allowed him to just pull away at the front. This is very good for Quintos, especially in the championship after not scoring many points at round 1 in Sepang.
This is the battle for P2. TJ Alberto, Voltaire Seiko, John Lawrence Bernardo. Oh yes, the lagging hurt us just a little bit there. TJ Alberto looked like he'd gone into the wall. He didn't. He did in virtual. Didn't in real life. Seiko holding on to P3, but the lead is 8.5 seconds for Quintos over this little group of 3 drivers. TJ Alberto able to consolidate second space with a 6/10 lead from Voltaire Seiko. John Lawrence Bernardo a further second down in 4th.
Yeah. So in this game, like in real life, you can have mechanical failures, but mechanical failures tend to be internet. Or say maybe something that goes wrong with your sim. Alberto is having a lot of lag here. I think his internet connection is not very good because he keeps jumping around a bit. So hopefully he'll stay in the game, because if the lag is too bad, if the ping gets too high, again, you might get ejected from the game.
Let's have a look down at P10, where Steven Schwab is in a battle for P10. He's getting close onto the tail end of Raboni John. He was very close, but just seemed to move off the pace a little bit. Even further down, Alan Escato. He tries to make a move there on the tail of Sean Velasco. Velasco goes wide. Escato takes the place. That is a point possibly for Escarto with 5.5 minutes still to go in this race.
Yes, points all the way down to 15th position with the win getting 25 points. I think that's following motorbikes actually point system, and then for the reverse grid race later, you get 15 points for the race win, and that one only has points down to 10th position.
Back into the lead. It's almost cameras of his own for Gav Quintos as he goes over the start-finish line. He is now onto lap number 7. Behind him, TJ Alberto has a lead of 0.4 of a second from Voltaire Seco. John Lawrence Bernardo is leading the best of the rest. He is ahead of Joriel Cruz. 6th place, just coming over the finishing line, is Franco Angeles Gonzalez, who's a long way down. But Gav Quintos, really, after a very rumbustious first lap, has been very cool, calm and calculating since then, Alex Young.
Yeah, and he's just lost fastest lap. TJ Alberto's just set the fastest lap, 35.4. You do get points for fastest lap, so Quintos, wow, he's still got a bit of time remaining. He'd be well advised to see if he could get those extra 2 points for fastest lap. Oh,
it's the lag once again, isn't it? We've got to be careful as TJ Alberto goes through.
Yeah, I think he needs to try and see. I wonder if he's running on a wireless network or if he's got a LAN connected to his PC. He needs to try and sort that out for the next race or the next round, if not this round, because it will cost him this sort of lag.
Big battle for P14. Erwin Ramos in the red and blue on the tail of Joseph Dio. Dio, a debutant, has to really defend. Dio in 13th place. Ramos 5/10 behind him, and Escarto is joining in on Erwin Ramos. Ramos got himself, he's 6th in the overall championship standings. 19-point weekend last weekend. Trying to pick up points in race number 1 here. Pressure on Joseph Dio. Let's see how he's able to cope with it.
Yeah, so Ramos has done a good job to get back into the points, 13th position. This is our pole sitter for this race. He had a messy first few laps and dropped him back down. He's now into 12th position, a good move, textbook move. Helps that the driver he's overtaking runs wide a bit. Probably deciding not to fight that, knows Ramos is quicker. So Ramos now up to 12th position. If he can take another couple more positions, 10th would be an excellent result after the messy first few laps. And don't forget, he then starts towards the front for the reverse race.
Ramos will be trying to get close onto the back of these guys here. Marcangelo Basilio. There is Ramos coming through now in P12. But that's a long way to go. Less than 3 minutes for Gav Quintos to make sure he doesn't make any major mistakes. The lead is still a good 7.5 seconds over TJ Alberto. Alberto under pressure from Seco. Although, not that much pressure at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, no, he's setting some good lap times. He's just done 35.1, which is 0.4 quicker than anyone else has done so far. So, Alberto showing the pace he showed in free practice. So, second position is good after qualifying dramas.
Erwin Ramos goes through. He is chasing Alonso Marcus. Marcus right behind him. There's a 3-way battle. Ramos, well, who's he on the tail there? Is he on the tail there of Marcangelo Basilio? He is indeed. Basilio goes out, Ramos goes through, and he's got himself up into P10, although he may well have been ejected as well.
I think Ramos had contact with Basilio, and that's ejected him out of the game. He's obviously had too many incident points. Drama. So after all that good work, he's not going to finish in the points for race 1. He'll now have to refocus his mind and focus on race 2, which is coming right after race 1. And fortunately for him, he starts at the front for that race.
Alberto in P2. Can Seco put in any pressure? 1.5 minutes to go. What are we? They will complete this lap and then maybe one more to finish as they come down the hill. TJ Alberto just takes the nice tight line inside that double right-hander, sets himself up very nicely as they come in through the tunnel for, I suspect, the penultimate time. Time for one more lap after this, Alex? Yeah, probably is.
One more lap. So Seco obviously did a good lap just now. The last lap was a 35.4, so he's putting the pressure back onto position 2, Alberto. Oh, look, and he's looking down the inside. Oh, nice move, but he overcooks it. Doesn't make it happen. Has to take to the escape road. That's that battle done and dusted. Looks like Alberto has P2 secured.
Well, it was a valiant effort from Seco. He kind of realized, gotta make a move, and then big moment. TJ Alberto crashes out and disappears from our screen completely.
We were just talking about the ping, the lag that he was having. Looks like it finally succumbed. The car succumbed to the internet lag and he's disappeared.
Okay, let's have a look at Joel Cruz. He's on the tail end there of John Lawrence. Joel Cruz in the back of the blue cars. John Lawrence just ahead of him here. John Lawrence Bernardo holding on to P3. Really tough for TG Alberto as he was trying to hold on to P2. So it's Quintos who leads. Seiko happily safe in second place. And John Lawrence has got a big battle to hold on to here. As he goes through, the race is over, but we will go into one final lap. So, big battle for P3, Alex Young.
Yeah, Bernardo covering the inside there. This is the last lap. Now we're in the middle sector, towards the end of the sector, middle sector of this lap. So, half a lap to go. But look, Bernardo didn't get a very good exit out of this. So, Cruz is all over the back of him as he comes to this next corner, this right-hander.
We'll stick with these two. Joel Cruz, P number 4 at the moment. Can't quite get it round. No chance to make a maneuver there. So a very, very quick look over the race leader, Gav Quintos, in all kinds of space. Loads of time and space. No time and space, though, for Bernardo. As Bernardo under intense pressure, Joel Cruz goes on the outside. Can't make the move just yet. Surely only a matter of time, Alex.
Yeah, so there's a couple of hairpins coming up. Will he try and go down the inside of one of them? Here we go. Now this is penultimate corner. This is where... Oh, no. Bernardo covers the inside. There's contact. But he still has a position. One more corner to go. Can Cruz try around the inside? Nope. Doesn't make it.
Quintos has got himself the victory. Voltaire Seiko will come through in second place. I'll keep an eye on that John Lawrence Bernardo incident. John Lawrence Bernardo, third place for him. Joel Cruz coming in P4. The race is done and Gav Quintos has picked himself up maximum points and the lead was over 7.5 seconds, Alex.
Yeah, dominant victory by Quintos. Obviously helped with the cars battling behind him, but really good job by the Filipino. Seiko
picking up second place and 20 points for him. Fastest lap though went to...
well, would have gone to Alberto, but he's been... Yeah, so he won't get fastest lap now.
So Seiko at the moment. So Seiko's lap 1:35.2 for Gav Quintos. There's the end result. Quintos takes maximum points. Fastest lap to TG Alberto, so he still has that. Seiko second. Bernardo third. Cruz fourth. Gonzalez fifth. And on debut, a good start for Howe in P6.
So that was an exciting race, Des. Lots of action all the way through. We now go to a reverse grid race. So the guys that finished at the back or even ejected out of the race, they start at the front for this race now. So the guys that won that race, finished at the front, they're at the back. They're going to have to try and make their way through to the front. At Sepang, with a lot of overtaking opportunities, we saw quite a few of the fast guys make their way to the front. I think this will happen here. From what I've seen with this track, you can overtake.
Trying to see if TG Alberto has been able to get his connection back up once again.
Yeah. Shame. Really quick driver that was. Just shame with the lag. So he won't be able to get back into the game now that the race 2 is starting. But anyway, let's focus on the cars that are there. Who's on the front row? Adrian Ayala with Paolo Santos takes the front row.
Ayala it is, who, as the lights go off, will be on the left of your screen. We are underway. Race number 2, reverse grid. Ayala just able to hold on, or is he? No, Paolo Santos. It is who has the lead. The all red of Paolo Santos in the CR1 holds off Ayala, and Santos come together. Santos takes a strange old route. Is he able to hold on? Raboni John goes into the lead there in the yellow. Buenaventura and Paolo Santos has to be content for P2 at the moment, Alex. But bags of incidents on that first corner.
Yeah, there's some more incidents just in the background. We saw that Ramos, though, P3, we know he's quick enough to win this race. He'll be very happy that managed to miss the action and he'll set himself up. I think he'll be able to get onto the front if he can keep the pace he showed in qualifying.
There is Erwin Ramos, as you say, he's come up a long way. So too has Mutoc as they come round the corner. Mutoc had a disappointing race number 1. Gav Quintos, dominant winner of race number 1, got himself up to P6. That's a terrific drive from Gav Quintos, and he goes inside LJ Mutoc and actually gets himself up into P5, but is then taken by Panlilio. So much overtaking going on. Quintos currently in P6. Panlilio is the man who's very close to him.
Yeah, it's a great first lap by Quintos. Obviously, the seas must have parted for him as there was a lot of carnage there. Oh, who's going down the inside of Quintos? So that is.
Quintos holds on to P4. It's Alonso, Marcus Lancambara. Now they're in identical vehicles. So Quintos is the one leading. So at the very front, Raboni John Buenaventura leads from Paolo Santos, but Santos looks like he's going to make a move. You did point him out as a man to watch, a real racer, driving the sim for the first time. Can he get into the lead as they are in the opening stages of lap number 2? Real pressure coming from Paolo Santos.
Yeah, Santos is going to want to try and make this move. He knows he's quicker than the car in front, but he doesn't want to get held up trying to make this overtake because we got the very quick Ramos right behind him.
Buenaventura is the man who leads the way as they go into the tunnel. Paolo Santos looks to maybe take him on the outside, but a nice clean line as they come back into the daylight once again, head towards the mountain area, round the corner. Buenaventura is still able to hold on. Behind them, Erwin Ramos under pressure from Gav Quintos. Quintos, winner of race number 1, trying to get into a podium place in race number 2, Alex Young.
Nice move round the outside of the left-hander, gave him the inside for the right-hander, and he made the move. Great job by Quintos, who's now up to P3.
Quintos up into P3. There he is. Now then, his next targets will be the front two, Raboni John and Paolo Santos, as they come through. Raboni in the all yellow, Santos in the red. The differential just 0.3 of a second between 1, 2 and 3. Santos tries to go around the outside. That left the way opening for Gav Quintos. Well, Gav Quintos is racing this circuit beautifully, Alex.
Yeah, so Santos there, he'll see Quintos in his mirrors now, and he'll know Quintos is quick. So even just heaps on the pressure. He knows he needs to try and make a move, though. But Raboni driving really good in the yellow car.
Staying with this is the battle for 1, 2 and 3. Raboni in the yellow still holds on, but look at what Gav Quintos, the pressure he's putting on Paolo Santos in 1, 2 and 3. We'll break off from that just for a moment to have a look at some overtaking maneuvers coming in. Voltaire Seiko has gone 1, 2, 3 places up on that move. He's got LJ Mutic in his sights, but Voltaire Seiko currently in P7 in the second of those blue cars behind Joriel Cruz. Further up now then, Quintos has got himself up into P2, which means somebody has dropped right the way down.
Santos, we've lost Santos. He must have spun out. Seeing a lot of cars under pressure, a lot of drivers under pressure spinning. I think Santos might have been one of them. Like we said, he's brand new to sim racing, so he'll be struggling to try and get grips with this car. And this is not an easy track to learn this car on.
So the race leader, Raboni John, gets rid of one pest, only to find that Gav Quintos is an even bigger threat to his race lead. 10 minutes to go in this 15-minute reverse grid race. It's the amateur leg of the Philippines edition of eRacing GP. As Quintos looks on the inside, Buenaventura has to hold on, but the differential is minuscule. And Gav Quintos all over the back of Raboni John Buenaventura. Will he make the move on this occasion? Yes, he does.
Dives down the inside, not close enough. Backs out of the move. Oh, Buenaventura doing a good job to cover it there. Quintos has a wiggle on the exit. So for now, he still maintains the lead in the yellow car.
Buenaventura really has done some excellent defensive driving to keep hold onto this P1. He's on the 4th lap. He's been in the lead for the last 2.5 laps, but never ever more than 0.5 ahead of the man right behind him. Gav Quintos really closing it in as they go up the hill in the tunnel. When they come out into the sunlight, more pressure. They dive down the corner under the rock face. Buenaventura still able to hold on, but unable to get rid of the very quick Gav Quintos.
Yeah, really good job there. I have to say, he's soaking up some pressure, but Quintos now finally makes move, dives on the inside. But Buenaventura, goes around the outside. Buenaventura, great move by Quintos.
Gav Quintos, winner in race number 1, is the new race leader in race number 2. Little bit further down, Ramos finds himself under pressure from Mutoc. This is the battle for P3. Mutoc, a disappointing race number 1. Better race number 2. Further down, Seiko and Joriel Cruz, the double blue threat. Joriel Cruz is the man behind Voltaire Seiko. Seiko, of course, led the overall championship standings after round 1 of 4 here in the Philippines. But he's under pressure here in P5, Alex.
Yeah, doing a good job there. So he was a bit more circumspect coming through the field, so he wasn't able to get through the field so as quick as Quintos. Quintos leading now, but Seiko, he's done a good recovery drive. P5, that's still not bad. Maybe he can pick up another couple more positions to hold on to his championship lead.
Into the podium areas, Erwin Ramos, who was the fastest in qualification, or first row of the grid in qualification, looks like he's holding off LJ Mutoc. Mutoc, who picked up a second place and a win in the first weekend of the Philippines edition. Not able to make as much of an impact in this second edition. Ramos just moving away up at the front. Quintos looks like he's pulling away from Buenaventura.
Yeah, so we're seeing the form of these drivers kind of ebb and flow. We just talked about Mutoc. He was so quick at Sepang. I thought he'd definitely be a factor today, but he hasn't been. But this man has, Gav Quintos, who's struggling a bit for pace at Sepang, but he's been untouchable today so far.
Down at the other end of the track in P8, Joseph Davao in the easy-to-see green, but under real pressure from Alan Escotto. He's really got him in his sights as Escotto tries to go round the outside. Is blocked.
Whoa.
A slide from Davao. Collision. Dio able to hold on, though. Rather helped by Alan Escotto, pushing him back onto the lap.
Wow, it's action all the way again. I have to say the CR1 class has been great for producing good action. It's a good beginner car, but it's still a little bit tricky to drive. He was dealing with a bit of understeer. Oh, looking down the inside. That's contact. Oh, too much. He wasn't far enough alongside to make that move. Maybe the guy on the outside maybe Dio should have given a bit more space at the apex. We'll have to look at the onboards there to make a decision later.
Paolo Santos trying to work his way back up the race lineup. He's got Francis Angelo ahead of him. As Paolo Santos, he's just right on the wing there, tries to make the move on the inside. Paolo Santos at one stage battling for P2. He's having to work really hard though, just to pick up some minor points in race number 2 here. Is he going to get close enough, or is Alonso going to be able to pick him off?
Yeah. Wow, look at that. And Basilio in the yellow car in front of him. He's missing a rear wing. So that car must be very oversteery because there won't be any grip at the back of the car.
At the moment, Paolo Santos just able to hold on. Gav Quintos, who won race number 1, is looking like he's going to pick up race number 2 as well. Having got in front of Raboni John, he's been able to pick up a lead of 2.5 seconds. So he has just raced away. Ramos coming through now under pressure from LJ Mutoc. This is the battle for P3. Ramos and Mutoc going for it with 5.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Mutoc, you fancy him having a chance at Ramos. He goes down the inside. Oh! Barges Ramos out the way. And that's position 3 for Mutoc.
Mutoc has slowly, quietly worked his way up into a podium position. Mutoc ahead of Ramos. Seiko is in a little group of 2 behind as he just comes over the brow of the hill. There is Seiko. Further down, Bernardo, who was doing well earlier on, is actually struggling just a little bit. John Lawrence Bernardo, currently P14. Adrian Ayala is the man he's just overtaken to go into P13, although Ayala's able to respond, but Bernardo, problems for him. Back to the front, and Quintos. Superlatives about him in race 1, Alex. You've got to repeat them in race 2.
Yeah, I mean, race 1, maybe got a bit fortunate cars you were battling spun off, but race 2, wow, what a first lap. Great racecraft to make the overtakes, not get involved in the carnage in the first corner, first lap. And that's it. You know, good overtakes halfway through to get the lead. And now look at that. What's that? 4-second lead over the guy in second place.
And the guy in second place is beginning to come under pressure from LJ Mutoc. Raboni in the yellow, Mutoc in the sky blue, and Erwin Ramos, let's not count him out as well, because there's still 4 minutes still to go. And the pace of Raboni, he's going round, what is a 1:37.33 last lap for Raboni, John Buenaventura. That's not quick enough, Alex.
Yeah, but I have to say, the new guy, Buenaventura, he's first time he's driving with us. He doesn't have the pace, but he's been super solid. Had to soak up a lot of pressure and has been able to resist a lot of the other drivers. Only Quintos is able to find a way through. I've been super impressed with this drive so far, but as we speak, Mutoc is getting closer and closer, and there's got to be at least 2 more laps, maybe even 3 more laps. Can he hold on to second place?
Mutoc inches closer, 0.2 of a second down. Not quite close enough to make a move on the chicane. We've seen plenty of action on that particular chicane. A little bit further down, Santos is making another move, this time on Alan Escotto. He has been quick, Santos, and he's been worth watching as well, because every time we go to him, he's making a maneuver, Alex Young.
Yes, nice move down the inside, textbook style. More importantly, slowed the car enough so he can make the apexes and get a good exit. Yes, and that's that move done. Well done.
Back to P2. Buenaventura under pressure for Mutoc, who is right under the tail of Raboni John Buenaventura. He's had to spend a lot of this race defending his racing line, Alex, and it must be wearing eventually.
Yeah, and like I said, he's new to the series, new to the car, and he's just been super solid. He's been quick at the right places, makes sure he doesn't make any mistakes on his exits, and that's always makes it difficult for the car behind to overtake. Mutoc showing his nose there, but he knows he's not really close enough, Buenaventura not panicking, soaking up the pressure. He's doing a fabulous job, despite not having the pace of the cars around him. Mutoc will be getting frustrated as well. He's right behind him, looking down the inside. Oh, someone spins behind.
Seiko it was who was closing the gap, and he suddenly spun, and Seiko will lose a place to Joriel Cruz. So the championship leader spins out. Mutoc makes a move. Mutoc goes for P2, but cannot get there.
Yeah, again, just now he's on the outside for turn 1, not able to do it. Oh, well, he's trying to switch back here, get the exit. But now look at Ramos. Ramos in, position 4 has closed the gap to both these cars now.
We have got a 3-way battle for the second spot on the podium. Buenaventura once again just takes the good racing line, invites Mutoc to make his move. Mutoc, I'm sure, will, and then slides.
Wow, so another driver bites the dust while trying to overtake it. Buenaventura, what a drive. Mutoc's just getting too aggressive on the throttle and end up spinning. So now Buenaventura looks like he's got a clean race, a nice, safe drive to take second position. He just needs to keep it on the black stuff, not make any mistakes, and he'll be rewarded with his first podium.
Erwin Ramos, meantime, slides off for the second time. Must be having 1 or 2 problems. He's slipped right the way down, and Paolo Santos goes through into P6. Great recovery from Santos, but Gav Quintos, the race lead. He won race number 1 by 7.5 seconds. He's 7 seconds clear in race 2, Alex.
Yeah, did all the good work in the first couple laps, managed to make it through when there was carnage all around him, and then make the right overtake moves at the right time. Shows his experience, because he is one of the more experienced drivers in this AM class. I wouldn't celebrate just yet, mate. You got 1 more lap to go. But yeah, so and now he just needs to keep it nice and clean for this 1 more lap.
In second place, he'll be happy. He's got a 6-second gap. Buenaventura, tell you what, he has driven so well, despite not being the quickest by a long way, but he's resisted all the pressure. Mutoc, he's alone in 3rd place. Juriel Cruz behind him in 4th place. Seiko has recovered for 5th because Paolo Santos has been involved in something again. So, bit of a procession at the end, but there's been so much incident, you wouldn't have expected this finale.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's if you were watching coming on and watching the last lap, you'd be thinking it's a boring race, but it's not been. It's been super exciting. It's just that some drivers just spun out of contention on the penultimate lap. So yeah, we're going to get a very easy, relaxed last lap. I hope Quintos is still pushing. He was celebrating a bit a lap ago, but there's still 1 more lap to go. Half a lap for him before he gets the checkered flag.
Well, he's lost the lead. It's down to 5 seconds now, so He has literally taken his foot off the gas, but he's still got a 5-second lead from Buenaventura. Buenaventura, real excellent race from Buenaventura. Closing the gap on Gav Quintos, but this is going to be a weekend double for Gav Quintos as he slaloms in. It's been a victory homecoming lap. Terrific race. Quintos, middle of the pack in race 1 on weekend 1. Failed to score in race 2, but picks up maximum points here, Alex Young, for a great weekend in weekend number 2.
Well done, Quintos. I saw him weaving at the start line. I've seen drivers spin just for the start-finish line doing that, so I'm glad to see him over the line. Great job by Buenaventura, 2nd position. Mutoch in 3rd. And 4th position, Cruz just holds off championship leader Seiko.
Seiko finishing in P5. Paolo Santos, that was an interesting drive from Paolo Santos. He was 2nd, he was 12th, and he came up 6th in the end. That's an interesting debut from the real racer, Paolo Santos, but the man who has really given everybody else a bit of an education on this RaceRoom track is Gav Quintos. Back-to-back wins for him.
Okay, we just get the leaderboard to come up to confirm all the positions. I'd like to see who got fastest lap. I think Quintos just held off fastest lap. He did a 34.9. Mutic 35.0, I think, was the next quickest up. So, yeah, the pace was good. But as far as racecraft goes, no one could challenge Quintos today.
Yeah, Quintos does indeed confirm to pick up the fastest lap. That's an extra bonus. 2 points for him. Picks up back-to-back wins as well. Buenaventura, tell you what, that was an adventurous drive from Raboni John Buenaventura. He held off a lot of challenges to hold on to P2 and the 12 points available. Well, that was a bit of fun.
Yeah, it is a bit of fun. So we got the pro drivers now. They're in the server now. They're practicing. The server opened 13 minutes ago. They have half an hour practice for qualifying starts at 3 o'clock. So we are just going to go for a quick break, and we'll be back in about 5-6 minutes.
Indeed, you're watching the eRacing GP. It's the Philippines edition. Just seeing the amateur boys. Next up are the pros. Join us in about 5 or 6 minutes time. welcome back to our coverage of eRacing GP Philippines edition, round 2 of 4. We've got the professional drivers coming up in just a couple of minutes' time. The guys are out on the practice circuit at the moment, but this has been one of the highlights of the eRacing GP so far for me. The battle between Inigo Anton and Alexis Clapano last week. Back-to-back races, lap after lap after lap, wheel to wheel. A real highlight of this series so far, Alex.
Yeah, it was. I mean, into both races, they were just everywhere they went. Reverse grid, non-reverse grid, they were just tied together. Who was it that
Luis
spun?
Moreno. Luis Moreno won it.
Luis Moreno won, but who was it that spun 3 times? I think it's Clapano.
Oh, Clapano 3 times, yeah, on the same corner.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. Those three drivers will be in the mix again: Moreno, Anton, and Clapano for sure.
Well, Moreno is the championship lead. If we can throw up the championship points for us, Alex, on what the pro guys did last week. Moreno won race, actually had a 47 point weekend, an almost perfect weekend for Moreno. He run race 1 and got fastest lap. Run race 2 didn't get fastest lap, but was fastest in qualifying. So clearly the man to beat. Anton and Clapano, we mentioned. Darrell Brady was also worthy of a mention with 19 points, and good points also for Lalave, Aquino, and Seb Tagulo. There's some very, very good races out there.
Yes, there are. So now they're in the practice session. You can see him going around. Here we are, Clapano in the yellow car. Very easy to know what car he's driving. He always sticks out. But yes, so just talking about the drivers, Moreno won both races at Sepang. He is the form driver. He's very experienced, done a lot of international races. So he is the guy to beat at the moment. But you see, like the other drivers, Anton's very young and new. Can he close the gap to him? He's second quickest at the moment. We saw the Clapano just now, just as quick as Anton, but maybe just both these drivers missing just a little bit in experience-wise to try and get Moreno. But, it's always a new day. You're only as good as your last race. So it'll be very interesting to see if these two drivers can close the gap to Moreno.
Luis Moreno is the fastest in qualification so far. There's 7 minutes or so still to go in qualification. Let's have a look maybe at some of the newer drivers, and we'll talk about the difficulties of a new track, because you'd not seen this track until the first time. And also coming in as well, Paul Faustino, for example, doesn't have much of a pedigree, but is joining the Philippines edition for the first time.
Yeah, good to see him there. Let's see, he wasn't bad actually. He was only a second off the pace on the leaderboard, so it's good to see him in there. Obviously quite quick. Needs to find a bit more time if he wants to run at the front. But yeah, good to welcome a lot of new drivers to the series. Sangalupe
is another new guy, easy to pick out in the green of the No Regrets Racing. Time lapping at the moment, 1:36.477. Inigo, Anton, and Moreno down in the 1:32s. So these guys are a long way off a very, very quick pace being set by Moreno and Anton.
Yeah, so and also this is a good field of drivers. These are, we call it the pro class because we just want to differentiate between the two classes. It's not that they're actual professionals. There's no prize money on offer or anything like that. But it's a good way to differentiate these. And these 20 drivers, they drive at a high level. All of these guys that make it through the pro class, these are drivers who either have the A license on the RaceRoom. So if you get an A license RaceRoom, we know you've done a lot of laps and you're very experienced. Or there are some drivers that are new to the game and just taking up the game to enter the ERGP Southeast Asia. So those guys are new to the game. They may not have the license, but we know from other previous races that they're very experienced. They're capable with lapping within a second and a half of the pace. And so then they get put up to pro category as well.
Interesting moment there for Seb Tagulo. Can we just pick up Inigo, Anton, and let's just show up the track map and follow Inigo. He's the man in the green just at the very top of the screen there. Just talk us through the rest of the half lap, Alex.
Yeah, so he's in the middle sector here. He's going through this flat out bit here. Now he has to brake for this left-hander as he goes over the brow. The chicane, there are quite a lot of chicanes in this track. There are 3 chicanes. This is the 3rd chicane. Fast chicane, have to say. Before we now come to a double right. This double right, again, he's up and down, up and down. It's always nice to see gradient in a racetrack, even if it is a virtual track like this. Now into the 2nd right. A longish right, which then leads to the last 2 corners of the track. 2 hairpins. This penultimate corner, this hairpin. You will see a lot of last lap dives into that hairpin for sure. and then the last hairpin, the last corner of the track. Very easy to overcook it here. You have to make sure you don't, though, because it leads onto the massively long front straight. So don't overcook at the last corner. Get a good exit out there. You'll make masses of time down the start-finish straight. As Anton now does a 33.4. It's got to find some pace, though, because at the moment, Moreno with 32.7, he's miles in front of everyone else.
Luis Moreno, the championship leader, near perfect last weekend and setting a really fast pace at the moment. A green .145 out for Inigo Anton as he just goes to try some practice. Thomas Rosales is a newcomer to what we're doing. Rosales is quickest of the new boys. He was a 1:34.7. Let's just follow him round the tail end of this and see if he's able to pick up a little bit of time there, but he's slow on sector 1, Rosales.
Yeah, a bit slow there. Now the second last corner again. Yeah, so like I said, great to see some new drivers in the mix. It's nice. Oh, what's he doing here? Maybe he's lost. He's going to the pit lane. So it's great to see the new guys come in. It's a great category to come into because the AM class is maybe, when I say new guy, he's into the pro class. So he's in with some decent drivers. We saw his lap times are quick. So while he's a bit unknown to us, it'll be interesting to see what sort of job he can do today.
Terence Lalave is somebody who we've seen in the global edition of eRacing GP without really threatening to get onto leaderboards or onto podiums. Yeah. He's always put in respectable performances.
Yeah, and he's been very quick at times. Oh, I love this new liveries running. He's been very quick at times. Got into the wars a bit at Sepang, so he didn't really finish where he should have finished. He'll be hoping for a cleaner race day today over the 2 races. If he can keep his nose clean, he has the pace to run at the front.
Another racer, Joaquim Garrido, is another who we've seen in eRacing GP. We've got the global edition where we've got our final round of the current season tomorrow. That's on Saturday. And I'm sure Joaquim will be looking to try to pick up some championship points. He can't win the championship, and he's a long way down the reckoning here. But another very, very capable driver.
Yeah, so in the GT4 category for tomorrow, I think he's in the running for 3rd position, actually. If he has a good day tomorrow, he could snatch 3rd position in the championship.
You are right, yeah.
So that's good for him. Like you said, he was really quick. Again, another driver like the Lava who's just in the wars, always having contact. Maybe didn't finish where his pace deserved him to be. But that's motor racing, you know. Sometimes you can have good days, sometimes you can have bad days. You have to try and put yourself in a position to receive luck. So don't put yourself in a position where someone might just bang you out and stuff. You can get away with it maybe once or twice, but not over a long season.
Seb Tagulo comes down to finish a lap for him. His fastest lap, he's in the 1:35.2s, which is respectable unless you're in the same race as Luis Moreno, who's almost in a race of his own at this stage. What's the level above pro for Luis Moreno?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Moreno is, in the global edition, he's the only Filipino to have won a race. I think so, yeah. He's the only one to win a race. So we know he's races at a very high standard. He's got some very fast teammates. His teammates with Alif Hamilton and Andika Rama from Indonesia and Singapore and Indonesia, respectively. So Moreno's very good. He's very experienced, and he's going to be tough to beat. You know, this is a track where you need experience on. There are a lot of long corners, very wide, where you know if you attack it too much, you're going to hemorrhage lap time down the straights. And I think Moreno knows that. He's been very calm and chilled and very precise the way he puts the car. And that's why he's quicker than everyone else by 0.6.
In terms of liveries, this is the one that always attracts people of my generation anyway. It's the old Lotus look there, the black and yellow. We remember that from Formula 1 days. And it always adds a certain je ne sais quoi to any racing car.
Yeah, the black and gold JPS logos from the Lotus days, right? Nigel Mansell, Elio De Angelis in that beautiful car. Yeah, that was a really good car. Classic car.
Inigo Anton in a slightly more colourful livery.
But running, again, iconic colour scheme. This is the Gulf colour schemes that the GT40 won Le Mans in. Did he win Le Mans? Yeah, he won Le Mans. I think it did. But yeah, the Gulf colour schemes. It's not obviously a Gulf car, but that colour scheme also brings back a lot of memories as well.
1:33.4. He is quite a long way lower than Luis Moreno, but he's a full 1/10 of a second faster than Terence Lalave as the practice ends, and they've got 5 minutes to try to get some kind of qualification time. I think we're just going to have to stick with Luis Moreno, see what he does to get us underway. And maybe you can, if he starts a quick lap here, Alex, talk us through a flying lap through Luis Moreno.
Yep, let's watch him now. So Moreno, this is his pole to lose. He just needs to get somewhere close to his full potential, because that 7/10 gap looks really big at the moment, and he's very experienced. I can't see him messing this up. He's got 2 laps to do it as well. So this is the first lap into turn 1. Oh, and as I say that, he overcooks it in turn 1, misses the apex by quite a bit. That will cost him quite a bit of lap time as he goes through that first chicane. He is purple at the moment. Yep.
Starts again.
Decided to restart his lap. So why don't we follow someone else who's a bit further down the lap? Let's follow Inigo Anton. He's a bit further down. He's in the second sector now. Fastest first sector of anyone. We'll go back to Moreno in a while. But Anton right now in the middle sector. See if he's nice and clean. Him, Clapano, Lalave, really the only cars I can see getting close to Moreno in qualifying today. Nice good exit out of that corner there. Now through this last of the chicanes, the third chicane I call it. Very far chicane. Ooh, nicely done. Lots of curb use. Just the right amount of curb use I can guesstimate at the moment. Now to the double right-hander here. Nice, lots of speed. Don't get it sideways. Ooh, was he on the throttle early enough and hard enough? Not sure. Now this long right-hander which tightens up into the hairpins. Nice and neat. Keep it neat. Inigo. Good. Hard on the power out. One more corner to go. This last hairpin. Don't overcook it. It's very tempting to barrow in and brake late, but then you ruin your exit. But Anton seems to have got the good exit there. Out of the last corner. If he can get into the 32s, this will be an excellent lap. At the moment, what is that? That's a 33-1. It's a good first lap. Let's go back to Moreno now and see how his lap is going. Is that good? No, actually, Anton did not get a lap.
Actually, no, he didn't. Terence Lalave is the man who's got the fastest lap so far.
So Anton must have had a track limits issued there. So his lap was not recorded. So Lalava's on pole at the moment. But it'll be interesting to see what Moreno does when he goes across the start-finish lap.
Okay, here is Luis Moreno. Fastest on Sector 2. 51.265. Bottom of your screen. The purple tells you that he is quick. And he's quite significantly quicker through Sector 3. 132. Is that quickest? 132.936. Of course it's quickest.
Yep,
but not as quick as it was in practice, Alex, interestingly.
Yeah, no, in practice, I think the fastest I've seen from him is a 32.6, so there's a bit more time left in his pocket for sure. And look at that, a faster first sector, so he's really winding it on now. Let's see what he can get down to. He's only marginally up on his time from before, but look how much speed he's carrying through these corners without getting the car sideways. That's the trick, to be able to carry the speed through the corners, get on the power early without losing the car, because you have one small wiggle and that hemorrhages you lap time through the corner and down the next straight as well. So it's very important you get it nice and straight, nice and smooth, which is what Moreno's doing. This is why he's so quick. Oh, someone's got quicker in Sector 1, but look, Moreno's gone quicker in Sector 2. So there is a challenger, though. Someone has gone a little bit quicker. Anton. We should go... No, Clapano, actually. Was it Anton? Clapano, but his lap was not counted. Anyway, so Moreno's still on for a slightly quicker lap. This is good enough for pole position. He's got 2 more corners to go. Nice and wide on the entrance of the penultimate corner. Gets a good exit out of the hairpin. Different line from we've seen from Clapano. Now for the last corner. So smooth. The car's not moving. That's perfect, really. Really nicely done. Last corner. This will be quicker, I feel. Maybe 32.6. Is that possible?
32 inside 32.6. Takes pole position, Luis Moreno.
Wow.
Inigo Anton had a sub-post 33, so there is a genuine challenger to Luis Moreno, and it is that man in the
yellow car. But Anton, really good job there. He's still got a bit further to go. I think he must have restarted. He's got...
Yeah,
will he have enough time?
He's got a chance.
He's got a time. Where's his pace coming from? Suddenly Anton's looking a lot quicker. He's got to keep it nice and smooth. He was a bit ragged around these last 2 corners when we watched him earlier. He's got 1 more corner to go. Okay, the graphics in the way. I'm not sure if he's got enough time. This is good enough to challenge for pole position, though. But is there enough time to get across the start-finish line to record it? He comes across the start-finish line now. What is this lap time? It's going to be in the 32s, I feel. No, wasn't quick. It wasn't across the start-finish line close in time, so he remained second. But at least we have a race on. We know Anton has the pace to take the challenge to Luis Moreno.
And anywhere that Inigo Anton is, I tell you, Alexis Clapano will not be too far away, although not on this grid, Alex Young. But Moreno, by far the fastest. Anton did really well. Clapano, though, needs to up his game a little bit if he is going to maintain third place in the championship.
Absolutely, Des. I say absolutely too many times. I just realized that. Oh, I know this. But anyway, back to the start-finish straight. We can see Moreno's on the right in the black and red car. He's on pole position. The turquoise, blue and orange car on the left. That's the second place position car of Clapano. Inigo Anton, sorry. You're also looking at the circuit map. Start-finish straight. Clockwise track.
And we will be underway in very, very short time. Luis Moreno on pole in the black to the right of the screen. What kind of a start does Moreno get? He gets a flyer. Terence Lalave dragged through with him. Clapano inside Inigo Anton. Here we go again for P3. But Moreno, an absolute flyer, Alex Young.
Really, really good lap there. Moreno, perfect start. Anton with a terrible start. He's gone from P2 to P4, so he's got it all to do. That's not the start he wanted. He wanted to be right behind this man, Luis Moreno, after the start, or even in front of him, but now he's in position 4 with his good buddy, Clapano.
A little bit further down, plenty of interchanging going on. Rosales currently in P8, Malverte, Elman in the green, chasing P9. Up at the front though, Clapano and Inigo Anton. Here we go again. Clapano in the yellow, Anton in the sky blue, Lalave Moreno ahead of them. But you cannot put any distance, can't put a piece of paper between these two fellas.
Yeah, it's really close. But Clapano runs wide at the right handles. That's allowed Anton to get the run out of that corner. Now it's a double right coming out, and now Anton's on the inside. Is this way he takes third position? Is this his recovery after such a poor start? We're still on lap 1, and these two are at it again as they were in Sepang. Penultimate corner. Now Clapano's got the inside. Oh, tags! Second position, Lalava. Luckily, Lalava stays on track, because otherwise that would have resulted in a penalty for Clapano, but it's allowed Inigo Anton to get through to P3.
Real racing at the middle area, but it's Moreno who leads through the end of lap 1. Lalave being dragged through in second, and in third place Inigo Anton right on the tail. Clapano and Matteo in the dark black. The black and gold is in P5, and that's a terrific performance from Matteo. Snuck in there very neatly.
Yes, good job there. New driver, I believe, Des.
Yes.
Oh, it's looking the inside. Oh, it's Clapano runs wide. Oh, Anton has spun.
Anton and Clapano, they come together. Duque moves up into P3. Inigo Anton, he spun and he took out Clapano, and Clapano was dropped down to P11. Anton has recovered to P4 and tries to get into P3 once again, but a major incident there for Inigo Anton and Alexis Clapano.
Yeah, maybe showing a bit of inexperience there. Anton obviously was having a look at the lava, made a mistake and spun. He was actually quite fortunate that Clapano hit him, because it put him back facing the right way, so he didn't lose too many positions. But super unlucky for Clapano. Look at that. He was just minding his own business, and who would spin in front of him? Anton collected Anton, and Clapano, he's all the way down, right at the back of the grid right now.
In P10 indeed, trying to get in ahead of Seb Tagulo. Tagulo in the green, Capallo in the yellow. This is the battle for P10. Clapano, as they come down the right-hander, down the hill into the first of these two right-handers. What a disappointing moment that was for Alexis Clapano, because it made a really good start, Alex, and was really chasing a podium place.
Yeah, so shame about that. He'll just have to knuckle down now. Okay, he's probably maybe can't fight for the podium anymore, but there's still a lot of points on offer. The field is still close. If he drives a good race, he could probably get up to P5 or 6, which would be very useful championship points for him.
Garrido in the lime green, under pressure from Thomas Rosales. Rosales has a look on the inside, hits that curb hard. Behind them, you've got Mark Voltaire Elman, who is always quick, and Joseph Flores. There's 4 in a line there up at the front, though. Moreno, well, we knew he was going to be quick, but he's already established a 2.5 second lead, Alex Young.
Yeah, Moreno's got this in the bag, isn't it? 2.5 seconds. LaLava in second position, but at the moment LaLava not really showing the same sort of pace as Luis Moreno out in front. It's going to be difficult for LaLava to close that gap. But I'll tell you what, LaLava would be quite happy with second position. He had a little bit of bad luck, a couple mistakes of his own making at Sepang. Didn't get the points I think I expected him to get. Second position would be a nice reward, though.
A little bit further down, Rosales has got himself up into P6. There he is. He's chasing Christian Duque. Rosales in the red, Duque in the lime green. Mark Voltaire Elman has been dragged through as well. Joseph Flores in the black and gold, chasing behind them. It was Inigo Anton you saw just go round, but this is the battle here for P6. Rosales leads Mark Voltaire Elman. Sorry, Duque is the front of that battle for P5. There's Duque, comes through. Under pressure from Rosales, who's right on the tail. Close enough to make a move, Alex?
Ooh, yes, if you're adventurous, but he is a bit far back. Yeah, he decides to back out of the move. Probably a wise move. Wasn't close enough. Anyway, Duque makes a mistake. The second part of the chicane. Ah, that's it. Rosario's through.
Rosales through into P5 on debut. No. Duque battles back. Duque, Mark Voltaire, Elman. Elman through on the inside. The 2 identical lime green, red and blue cars chasing the battle for P6, but it's Thomas Rosales currently in P5 who is in control but under immense pressure. We'll stick this to P5 because there's these 4 plus 2 not too far behind them in a real battle for P5.
Yeah, 6-way battle for P5. Excellent stuff. The 2 lime green cars still battling each other out. Rosales has a bit of breathing space at the moment, but it's not going to last. You can see some fast cars behind him. And so Clapano at the back of that train as well.
Mark Voltaire Elman it is who has got the head of Christian Duque. Seb Tagulo in that group. Elman about to make a move on Rosales. Rosales has a nice tight line as he comes through that sharp right-hander. But Elman looks poised to make a move. 0.2 of a second down. But he's under pressure from Duque and Tagulo and Clapano back in that mix, Alex Young.
Yeah, so Clapano, if he can get up to P5, that'd be a good job done. After having that incident on lap 2, he's got the run out of the last corner. Who's he alongside? He's alongside Tagulo as he come down the start-finish straight.
Joseph Flores also in there as well, but Clapano up in P9 at one stage was battling for the top slot. Let's look at the top slot. Moreno's lead is nearly 5 seconds. He is just racing away. LaLave is a second clear of San Mateo in P2. Inigo Anton is there in P4. Elman, though, under pressure. No, he's taken Rosales. Sorry, cutting away, and Elman's gone past Rosales, Alex.
Yeah, good job there. And it looks like Duque is trying to follow him through as well. There's lining up the red car there right behind Elman. Good move there, and he's got some breathing room now. Okay,
Rosales under pressure. Oh! Clapano slides.
Is he done as not? Oh, Clapano spun again. He doesn't like those hairpins. He doesn't like those tight corners. He tends to be a bit too aggressive, and he's spun.
Elman from Duque, from Flores, from Somodabilia, from Galupe to Gulo, and Clapano has to start all over again. Maybe he just likes coming from the rear of the pack, Alex Young.
Yeah, I know what you were going to say there. Good save there, Des. As is behind the 2 green cars. Yes, well, it's really bad, really hard for him. Clapano, though, he'll just have to try and settle down again. Back in...
Sorry, my apologies. Clapano is making a move there on Tagulo as he tries very, very hard just to make up for those errors that he had. Right, San Mateo under pressure now from Inigo Anton. This is a battle for P2. LaLave in the blue, San Mateo in the black and gold, and Inigo Anton is chasing. So 3-way battle for second place, Alex.
Yeah, this is definitely heating up. LaLave just not showing the pace. 34.1 is his quickest lap, which is not where we saw him be in qualifying. Whereas Luis Moreno did a 32.7. So he's definitely holding up the 2 cars behind him. And you know this is going to come to a head soon. Mateo maybe thought about looking down the inside for that hairpin, decided not to. Now he's out of that corner. They're in the middle sector of the lap now. Third chicane, the fast chicane coming through here. Carries the speed. All of them carrying just the right amount curb. No Mateo. Second, third, and fourth in a blink of an eye. Now we're coming to the double right-hander. Mateo losing a bit of ground there. Anton closing it. Oh, LaLava missing the apex there a bit. So lost a bit of time there. Now to the last two corners on the track. The two hairpins. This left-hander. Oh, Clapano down the inside of Mateo. Whoa, slides his way through there. Takes third position. Nicely done. Just ambushed the car in front. Mateo now back to fourth position. So now Clapano in third position. We're looking at LaLava, who's just in front of him in the blue car.
Way clear though, lapping inside 133. Luis Moreno is in a race of his own. Little bit further down in P6, Rosales under pressure from Duque and Joseph Flores, and Suma Dabila behind them as well. That's Elman in fifth. This is Rosales in the red in P6, Duque in P7. Will he try to make a move there? Little bit further down, Clapano is there. We'll stick with Duque though, as he tries to take a cheeky little area through, and lost a bit of time and came under pressure from Flores.
Yeah, little battles all up and down this field. Rosales nicely carrying lots of speed there. Oh, I love the way this track goes up and down. There's some nice gradient here. Been fantastic.
Gotta move away because LaLave loses P2 to Inigo Anton. Or does he? Anton tries to hold the speed. LaLave holds the inside. There is a collision as they hit the hairpin. But let's rejoin this battle for P2. LaLave in the blue. Inigo makes another big move around the inside on this occasion. LaLave has to defend. And don't count out San Mateo either.
Now watch this left-hander. Anton going to look at the inside. No, LaLave covers the inside. He knows Anton to look down the inside. Now we come to the last corner. Will he try to dive down the inside? No. Anton decides to take the wider line, try and set himself up for a good exit so he can be firmly in the slipstream. That was a decent exit from the young Filipino, and he's all the way over the back of LaLave, straight in the slipstream as they go down this long start-finish straight. Is he close enough to have a look into turn one? LaLave thinks so, because he's closing the inside. He's covering the inside. Oh, makes the apex, just about makes the apex, but Anton's got a run on him as they come out of that corner.
Anton makes the move again. LaLave defends expertly. Terrific defensive driving we've seen on this circuit. With so many chicanes, I suppose it's you get into that position quickly and you can defend your line. Anton has another little look around the outside. All the while, Miguel San Mateo is waiting patiently for his chance to pounce at the same time.
Breaking for this hairpin. This is where Clapano spun a couple laps ago. Good exit. Anton with a great exit out of it, and he takes LaLave's second position.
So Anton into P2. LaLave then nearly loses P3 as well. San Mateo had a little look on the inside. Great dueling between these three. Anton currently in possession of P2 as they come down the hill once again. But LaLave under pressure from Miguel Santel. A little bit further down. Clapano's got himself up to 9. Flores and Duque are really battling it out there. Duque in the lime green, Flores in the black. That's for P7. Up at the front, Moreno, race of his own, 10.5 seconds clear. Let's go back to P2, Alex Young.
Yeah, so Anton now has put out a bit of a gap to LaLave. LaLave has also put out a bit of a gap to the guy in P4, Mateo. So things settling down. 2 more laps to go. It'd be nice to see the battle behind this because it looks like Anton's got it. Really, after spinning earlier on, this was the best result he could have hoped for.
There's LaLave in P3. Where is Clapano? I'll tell you what, Clapano is closing up on Christian Duque and Joseph Flores, but he's in P9 at the moment. We keep going back to him because he was amongst the leaders until he spun not once, Alex, but twice. Yeah,
the first spin he couldn't do anything about it. Anton spun in front of him and Clapano hit him and lost all those positions. The second spin, though, it's another spin at a hairpin. We saw him do it 3 times at Sepang, so Clapano needs to know that he's been too aggressive for those kind of corners. Maybe he's running his brake bias too much to the rear as well, because he locks up the rears and then the car goes round on him.
1.5 minutes remaining, 1:20. Luis Moreno, the leader, almost on his own lap, 11 seconds clear of Anton. with Lalave dropping back a little bit now. Anton, having made the move, has got himself a 1.8 second clear from Lalave, but Lalave cannot shake off Miguel San Mateo.
Yeah, Mateo, great, really impressive drive for his first race with us in ERGP. Very, very good drive indeed. All over the back of the very experienced Terence Lalave. And I do love that blue color car. It's quite striking.
As they come through, this will be the final lap that they are about to embark upon. Lap 10 for Luis Moreno. Lalave was in P2 for a long while, lost that to Anton, desperately trying to hold on to P1. Sorry, P3. Mark Voltaire Elman is a long way behind right then. San Mateo really close. Can he make the move on this occasion? The double right-hander. What line has he got coming out? The answer is Lalave holds the better line.
Yeah, still got half the lap to go though. The tunnel is pretty much in the middle sector of this lap. This is the hairpin. We saw Lalave have a poor exit out of here a couple laps ago, which allowed Anton through. Ooh, doesn't look like he... no, that exit's okay. He uses a bit of the extra road. But Mateo, all over the back of him, looks down the inside to the chicane. Not able to do it quite. Not quite close enough. Got the double right-hander coming up again. As we come to the last sector of this track.
Just got to quickly look at Luis Moreno. He is waltzing away to the victory. I tell you what, he's slowing down. Anton is closing in on him. But Moreno is just making sure that he takes up another victory. This will be 3 wins out of 3 for Luis Moreno. As he comes up, he will complete the finish in first place. So Moreno takes it. Inigo Anton, second place behind them. Lalave able to hold off Miguel San Mateo. Mark Voltaire Elman will finish in P5. Clapano, low, he's battling Clapano with Rosales. Clapano, this the battle for P6, still on the track. Clapano in the yellow, currently in 7th. Rosales holds on to P6, and Clapano satisfied, or not satisfied with 7, but a man very satisfied with his performance, Alex Young. Luis Moreno, 3 wins out of 3.
Yeah. Whoa, Clapano though. I think I'm not sure if he's lost his 7th position, but he's dropped down the order. I think that last bit of contact on that last corner might have sent him over the incidence points, because he would start on the front row. Oh no, he's back up to 7th now. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Okay, so P7 for Clapano. So out of the quick guys, I think Clapano in P7, he'll start mid-pack for this reverse grid race. So he'll be keen to try and have a clean first couple of corners. If he can do that, then maybe he's got a chance of winning this race.
We're straight into the reverse grid race in the pro class of the Philippines edition of eRacing GP. Alex Young, the architect, in the analyst chair. It's difficult not to talk about Luis Moreno, though. He'll be starting right at the back of this particular grid. But yeah, what a race he's had so far. What a season so far.
Yeah, I mean, Moreno's been so dominant. I think he has the pace to get to the front for the reverse grid race, for sure. The question is if he can stay out of trouble on the first few corners, because that's where you can lose this race completely.
Let's just have a little look at the track map, just so you can see where the opportunities are for overtaking. And then we will get underway for the reverse grid race. Alex Young and Des Corkill in the commentary box. Joaquim Garrido will be on pole. He will be on the right, and we are underway. 15-minute race. Garrido safely through. Dean Jose alongside him in the blue. Flores in the black in P3. But right behind them, all kinds of maneuvering going on. But Garrido has made a solid start, Alex Young, to hold on to that pole position.
And also a little bit further back, Clapano in P4. Great start by the driver in the yellow car. That's exactly what you needed to do. You needed to get a good start and try and get out of that midfield battle, because that midfield battle is always where the action has. There's always contact there. So to get out of position 4 would be very good. Luis Moreno, the winner of race 1, has also had a good start from the back of the grid. He's up to P9.
Back up at the front though. Garrido under pressure from Dean Jose. Little wobble there from Dean Jose. It allows Garrido to pull 0.6 of a second clear. Clopano got himself up into P3. He's overtaken Christian Duque. Garrido under pressure. Clopano right there. If Clopano can keep these errors out of his driving, he will be there or thereabouts, Alex Young.
Yes.
But he's got to keep the errors out of the driving.
That's true. If he can't keep the errors out of the driving, he has to be favourite to win this race because he's in P3 right now. However, the two guys in front, Garrido and Jose, they're very quick drivers themselves. So it's not going to be straight and simple. First, Clopano looks down the inside. Oh, it was not close enough, mate. That's the sort of thing he has to avoid. He has to avoid those rash challenges which could end up with him spinning. But look at that. The drivers in front are fighting over the lead in front of him. That's going to be good for Clopano. Who gets a better drive? Garrido gets a better drive out the last corner, and he still leaves for now.
A little bit further down the field, Moreno, the man you cannot ignore, has got himself up into P7. Overtakes Flores and Mateo. In one sweeping move and goes into the chicane. He's got Terence Lalave and Mark Voltaire-Elman ahead of him. There is the championship leader, won 3 races out of 3 so far, and with 13 minutes still to race here, got plenty of time to pick his way through to the lead, Alex Young.
Yes, he does. And also Anton's not had a good lap. He's in P9, but back at the front, Garrido now. Clopano is through Dean Jose, and now he's challenging the back of Joaquin Garrido. Anton looks down the inside. You weren't close enough. Calm. You need to be calm at this point, Clopano. You can get through the lead, but you got to choose your moment wisely without losing much time. Because if you scrap at the wrong time and you try and make the overtake at the wrong place, you could end up losing a lot of time, and that allows some of the quicker cars behind to close that gap too.
Clopano tries to make the move on the inside this time. He does. He catches a lot of curb. That costs him a little bit, but he's still able to hold on. Clopano has the lead from Joaquin Garrido. Dean Jose drops back into P3, but Alexis Clopano, this is the potential that we've seen from him in both rounds of the Philippines edition so far, Alex. He's in the lead.
And Dean Jose follows Clopano through in the last corner. He overtakes Garrido for second place. They are dragging down that start-finish line. Those two battling for second position is allowing this man, Alexis Clopano, to increase the lead at the front.
A little bit further down, look at the movement made by Luis Moreno. He's got himself up into P5 and he's dragged San Mateo along with him, and also not too far behind, Inigo Anton. So Inigo Anton right on the tail of San Mateo. Mark Voltaire-Elman not too far away there, but the big boys, Clopano, who leads, Inigo, Anton and Moreno are all beginning to make moves.
Yeah, so Clopano needs to get his head down. We know Moreno's quick and he's currently in P5, but he's only 2 seconds behind race leader here, so Clopano needs to be perfect. He may be leading this race. He may have a 2-second gap, but
Moreno, is up into P4. Got inside Christian Duque. What a terrific maneuver, and with over 10 minutes still to go. Oh, can he hold on to it? Duque dueling with Moreno. Moreno loses 3 places.
Wow, Anton goes through as well. He would have loved that. The championship leader who goes from 5th to 7th in a blink of an eye.
Well, he made the move on the inside. Looked like he'd done enough, and then just lost out. Duque is leading that little group ahead of San Mateo in the black. Inigo Anton in the sky blue and orange, and right behind them, making a move once again, is Luis Moreno. Very, very little between those 4. Mark Voltaire-Elman trying to get close to Flores.
All the while, this is great for the leaders because it allows the leaders, the top 3, to pull away a bit. Clopano's in the slipstream. He'll be looking to get through. Sorry, Anton is in the slipstream. We're now watching Clopano, race leader. Those guys are always together, so now I get a mix-up, even though they're in totally different cars.
A little bit further back, Dean Jose is holding off Joaquin Garrido relatively comfortably. Here is Inigo Anton going past Duque into P4. Duque 5 as he takes Moreno around the outside. Big runoff there for Moreno, and he used a lot of it.
Yeah, great job. That's been a great... Oh, what happened there? We lost his internet connection. Anton's disappeared. No, he's still there. That was just a lag. Oh, that would have been a disaster if we'd lost him. So Anton, what a great other than that lag in that moment there, he's gone from something like P6 up to P4. He's P7, sorry, a lap ago to P4. So that's been a great job by the young Filipino driver.
Right behind him, he's got Duque. Moreno's up into P6 ahead of San Mateo. Flores is close. Elman's close. Lalave is close as well. This is a race for P4, which Anton is winning. Behind them, Moreno makes a move on Duque. Moreno in the black and red. Look at them just coming round the corner. Hasn't quite got the line quite right there. Maybe we look at Luis Moreno, see what movements he's going to make, Alex Young.
Yeah, so didn't get a good drive out of that corner. So now he's got all to do in this last corner. So again, if he can just get a good exit, he'll inch up into the slipstream of the car in front. Duque in front of him. The green car of Duque, Moreno in the black and red car right behind. He's in the slipstream. You would bet anything that Moreno's going to look down the inside. He does. Should be able to take the position. But Duque breaks late and holds second position. Good move by Duque to hold second position from the very experienced Moreno just behind him.
A spin there from Thomas Lalave. It sends him a long way back. He's recovered. The race leader by a long way. 2.6 seconds. Alexis Clapano from Dean Jose. From Joaquim Garrido, who we just saw coming through here in P3. Anton in 4. Duque in 5. And Moreno is battling with Duque. We'll stick with Luis Moreno because he's the story of this Philippines edition. 3 wins out of 3, and Moreno up into P5 as Duque spins.
Such a shame. I thought Duque was doing such a great job up to that point, but obviously the pressure of this man, Luis Moreno, right behind him, and Duque made a mistake.
He also took Mark Voltaire Elman with him as well. Voltaire Elman right to the back on the tail of San Galupe. Duque is in there as well, but these are for the lower points now as Clapano increases lead to 4.5 seconds. Let's stick with the real race in the middle where San Mateo is chasing Jose Flores in the similar black and gold livery, and Summa Debilia is just behind them. Battle for P7. Anton making a move on Joaquim Garrido. Anton has a podium in his sights, Alex Young.
Yeah, he does. He's looking very quick indeed. Let's see what's his lap times. Anton hasn't set a fastest lap yet. Fastest lap at the moment is Clapano with a 33.4. But look at this, Anton right all over the back of Garrido. You feel it's just a matter of when and not if he gets past Garrido.
As they come round the corner, maybe has a little move. Garrido in the white has got himself into P3, but very, very close behind is Inigo Anton, who's made some real moves. Clapano it is, who's still well in the lead. Anton trying to follow his close rival into P2. Anton, good drive out. Sometimes when they go wide there, you feel they're going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, Garrido did a good job there. He knew Anton was on the inside. Didn't bother him, just focused on getting the braking right. Went round the outside and was able to defend that position nicely. Now we're coming to the last sector. Oh, this double right here. Oh, Anton's on the inside now. That should be it, done and dusted. Well done. But Garrido has a chance to come back at him. There is this left-hander here, and we've seen drivers go down the inside. Anton knows that, so he covers the inside. Doesn't allow Garrido through. Garrido then, concedes the position. He now has to look in his rearview mirror because look at that. Right behind him, we've got championship leader Luis Moreno closing that gap too.
We certainly do. Let's quickly look at Alex Clapano, though. He's got a lead of just under 4 seconds from a driver who's doing pretty well, Dean Jose. Jose, we've not really spoken about him, Alex, but he's managed to stay out of problems. He was on the front row of the grid and has been able to hold on to that position throughout this race.
Yeah, he was very quick on the leaderboard during the week. I think he was 4th or 5th quickest. He was up there anyway. So we know he's quick, but just whether the races hasn't gone his way yet, so it's nice to see him there. Second position, this would be a real boost for his confidence. And when these sort of results happen for the first time for a driver in a new series, it could help really elevate your level and help him on for the next remaining races in the championship.
Best result is a 5th in race number 1 on weekend number 1 in the Philippines. P3 is Inigo Anton. Moreno, let's have a look at Moreno. Makes a move into P4. Little nudge. Out of the way. You get out of my slipstream, Joaquim Garrido. I'm the boss.
Just bullied Garrido there. Looked like he was far enough alongside to make the move and did it well, nicely. So now he's up to P4. 4 minutes remaining, Des. Can he close the gap to Anton, who is in P3 ahead of him?
Well, it's 3 seconds that he's got to claim on Inigo Anton, but he is lapping 135 last lap, or his best lap 135. Tell you what, that proves just how much he's being caught up in traffic, because regularly he's been inside 133 when he's got open track.
Yeah, so now he's got some open track now as he comes around the last corner to start a lap. This will be the lap he needs to push. If he can get to a low 33, maybe even inch to the 32s, then we know that there's a race on for third position.
It is Clopano, though. That lead for Clopano is over 4 seconds from Dean Jose, just coming into shot at the top of your screen. Inigo Anton is chasing a further 2.3 seconds down. Moreno, is he closing? Let's have a look. So there's Inigo Anton. He goes round and then coming through. The gap is 2.7 seconds. It's not getting any... Oh, it is. It's going down rapidly. Now 2.6. Back up to 2.7 as Anton puts on the afterburners. But is Moreno making up enough ground, Alex Young?
Yeah, he's had a very good first sector, so he is closing the gap to Anton, but we're running out of time. After this lap, there are probably 2 more laps remaining, so 2.5 laps to go. I'm not sure if there's enough time for Moreno to close the gap to Anton in P3.
His last lap was 2:33.7. Dean Jose in second, Clopano in first. Let's look at Clopano. We're so used to him being in duels that to see him on the screen on his own, Alex, is a real rarity for us.
Yeah, but I do worry a bit. You just saw him tag the wall at the exit of that corner there. We know he is prone to spinning all by himself. So with 2 laps remaining, here's to hoping that he can keep it on track.
Indeed, surely he can't lose it from here. The man just coming over the brow of the hill behind him is Dean Jose. And Jose is coming under increasing pressure from Inigo Anton. Anton has closed within 1.3. Now then, 2 minutes to go. What have we got? 1, 2, 3 laps maybe?
Wow.
2.
And we were talking about Moreno, but look at Anton now. He just set the fastest lap of the race, a 32.7. That's really quick. That's the pace we know he's capable of. He's been in battles all day today. So that probably was his first clear lap. So 32.7, very good lap indeed. And Moreno was not able to match it, actually.
A little bit further down, Joaquim Garrido, who for so long was doing so well, has been kicked out of the game. Clopano leads. Jose moves into second place, but this is the real battle for the podium. Inigo Anton closing in on Dean Jose. There is the gap as they go through. Moreno is dropping backwards on Inigo Anton. There's a turn up for the books, Alex.
Yeah, Moreno had a poor second sector there, whereas Anton had an excellent second sector, so that's why you're seeing the gap. Look at him. This is a man-possessed. Inigo Anton is driving superbly, and at the right time, just as the closing stages of race 2, he is closing down that gap. There's one more lap after this, and you have to say, with this sort of pace advantage, you favor him for taking P2.
So Clopano disappeared. This is Dean Jose, who did at one stage have a lead of over 4 seconds on Inigo Anton. Now the lead as they come over the start finish line for the last time will be 0.7 of a second. And what are they lapping? Jose lapped 1:33.8. Anton 1:32.7 last lap.
Yeah, it's a very good pace there. They're really pushing now. You can see Anton is pushing really hard, but Jose looks, he's keeping calm. He's not making any mistakes. A more inexperienced driver might start making mistakes right now. If you're seeing a car coming up so quickly in your rearview mirror, it's very easy to do that, but Jose so far is remaining calm.
Clopano it is, who has still got a huge lead over these 2 drivers. Anton gets to within 0.3 of a second, closing. They both use the full extremities of the track, go very wide there just to try and hit the best camber that they possibly can into the chicane, and Anton really is chasing second place here, Alex.
Anton has to be careful. I know he's going to try a move, but he doesn't want to. He needs to make it good. Yes, he's alongside. Clean move so far. Great move by Anton. But look at that. Jose is coming back. He's on the inside for this corner. Oh, Jose, hold on. Yeah, oh, that was close. Now I got Moreno right behind him. The position's gone, but he still wants to hold on to P3 at this moment because Moreno's right all over the back of him.
For Anton in 2, as Clapano, 5 seconds away, takes the victory. Behind them, Anton. Jose just holds off Luis Moreno to take P3 ahead of Moreno, who finishes 4th. Good result for San Mateo, who'll come up the brow of the hill into P5 ahead of Lalave. Flores, Rosales, Elman will finish in P9 ahead of Sungalupe, who is the last of the point scorers. Duque and Zuma Padilla out of the points, and one-time race leader Joaquim Garrido in the pits. But Alexis Clapano, great victory for Clapano, and no mistakes this time, Alex Young.
Yes, well done. Very pleased for him. We know he's a quick driver, just a bit incident prone lately, and it's nice to see. Nice clean race, good win from him. Clapano is the winner. The graphics are just getting a little bit confused there. Anton with fastest lap, very good. Dean Jose with 3rd position, good job there. Moreno had his moments in the middle of the race, so I think he'll be reasonably satisfied with P4.
Indeed, it's the first one that Moreno hasn't won, but to be fair, he was under pressure. So, victory for Alexis Clapano. He'll always give us something, be it last lap catastrophe or a victory by 3.5 seconds, as was the case here today. So, Alexis Clapano picks up maximum 15 points. Anton, though, picks up the 12 points for second, plus the bonus 2 points for the fastest lap. So, all 3 of those at the top of the leaderboard at the start of the day, Alex, have picked up valuable points. But Luis Moreno, 4th place in race number 2, but a really convincing win in race number 1.
Yeah, Moreno's just look at that championship lead. He's going to have a big lead right now. And with obviously Anton and Clapano behind him. So it's going to be hard to reel in Moreno, but you know, you just need one bad day and lose points through 2 races, and that championship battle will be back on.
Listen, we'll be updating the championship scores once we have them worked out. Alex has got a fair amount of race officiating to do. There were 1 or 2 little incidents there, Alex, you might be asked to have a look at.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have to look at some of the incidents. As it works, the drivers send in their videos, we have a look at it, and if they send it within the protest window, which is half an hour after the race finishes, then we will act on it. If it's outside the protest window, then there's nothing we can do about it. So the drivers, it's on them to really look after them, because we don't have cameras, we don't have dozens of officials. Let's not forget, this is a lockdown race, it's all in my home sort of thing. So yeah, we need the drivers to send in the videos before we have a look at the incidents.
Okay, listen, we are at the end of round 2 of 4 of the Philippines edition of eRacing GP. We're back on your screens on Twitch, on Facebook, and on YouTube. We're back next Friday, May the 8th, same time, 2 o'clock for the amateurs, 3 o'clock for the professionals. Join us then.